New information from the site of Sunday's deadly crash in Ethiopia. It's led President Trump and the Federal Aviation Administration to ground Boeing 737 MAX jets. 22 other countries had already grounded the planes and banned them from their airspace in response to the Ethiopian Airlines and Lion Air crashes. Nearly 400 people died in those tragedies. Now, we still don't have a cause for the accidents, and until today, the FAA said it didn't have evidence of a connection between the two. That may have changed. Our Pete Munteen is a veteran pilot. He's here with the new information for us tonight. Pete?
The problematic planes being empty from our skies right now, Bruce. One of the planes, American Flight 163, landed at Reagan National Airport only moments ago. Remember, 2 crashes in the last 6 months. Federal regulators have seen new satellite tracking data, and they say it shows that the crashes are so similar that it must ground these planes. President Trump announced that the 737 MAX 8 and its larger derivative, the MAX 9, are banned from flying in the United States until further notice. Southwest has about 30 MAX 8, so does American. United operates the MAX 9. The Federal Aviation Administration says the new data came from the site of Sunday's crash in Ethiopia. This is a major change from just last night. The FAA was reviewing data from the crash, and it said it did not see any issues. Now, it agrees with the president that these planes should be grounded.
Planes that are in the air will be grounded. If they're the 737 MAX, will be grounded upon landing at the destination. Pilots have been notified. Airlines have been all notified. Airlines are agreeing with this. The safety of the American people and all people is our paramount concern.
Now, Boeing is the maker of the jet. It is going along with this out of an abundance of caution, and it has maintained all along that the airplane is safe. But Bruce, shareholders are not happy. Boeing stock took a big slip tonight.
Pete, a lot of us asking the question, what is it that all these other countries saw and acted on that we chose not to act on?
Well, there's new reporting tonight that says that the FAA may have known something as early as Monday. I think that this airplane had to be grounded. There's no way around that. The pilots have said, even here in the United States, after they got extra training in what to do if the flight control system went on the fritz, which has been the issue all along, they said 5 times that they reported this problem, they saw this. They got the extra training, although pilots in foreign countries may not have. So there's a big variance across the country, across the world here.
If you're going to err, you err on the side of caution in these kind of instances, right?
Well, totally. I mean, I think a lot of people, even airline employees, lost trust in this. I've talked to friends who are flight attendants for Southwest Airlines. They say they fly on these all the time. This is their workplace, by the way. And they couldn't feel safe in that. So what does that say when we weren't able to react quickly enough?
Yeah, and you were telling me in the newsroom, we've got by far the best pilots, and Definitely. They had concerns about this plane. The other pilots, in the case of these crashes and elsewhere outside of the U.S., they're not as experienced with this plane.
I believe that this is a perfect storm, sort of a wonky issue with the flight control system, but also that may have outpaced the experience of the pilots in this case. We know from some reporting that the first officer in the Ethiopian Airlines crash had only 200 hours of flying time. In the United States, that's not enough experience to even fly a crop duster for a living. So I think that this issue was very complex. They might have not been able to work through the problem. They might have had a startle response, because what happens here is a big, pronounced nosedive of this airplane. It's hard to work through. Our pilots have a lot of time. If you're flying on a 737 MAX 8 as an airline pilot in the United States, you have a lot of experience. In this case, it doesn't seem like that happened.
Okay, Pete Munteen, thanks a lot.
No
Good
problem,
information. Appreciate the explanation.